Shiesty subcontractor companies are the absolute worst to deal with. You may have already had negative experiences with them, but if you haven't, then you need to watch this video because I'm covering 4 red flags and things to look for when doing work for these companies. And if you stay until the end of the video, I'm also giving away 3 bonus tips that will save you thousands of dollars in the long run and stop potential headaches if you pay attention to what I'm going to teach you in this video. But before we get into that, if you're interested in parking lot striping and want to start a business that's highly profitable, we've got an 8-hour training course that covers striping, how to get customers, marketing material, and much more. Link will be in the comment section and the description of this video. And if you want to hop into our private group where we offer intense high-level coaching that has helped so many other business owners get to that 6-figure mark in their business, consider signing up for the Collective program, where Mike, Justin, and myself are all 3 inside this group helping you grow your business. With 2 video calls each month, unreleased courses, and hours of training to give you the skills needed to go out and produce results. Link will be in the second comment section and the description of this video. Subscribe, hit the notification bell icon, like the video. Let's get to it. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about how to avoid working with shiesty contractors and companies that outsource you for their parking lot striping jobs. Now, this is something that happens a lot, and if you have not already encountered it, you will the longer you keep on going. And this is something that happens not just to myself, but also to multiple people that I know personally that are all around the nation that do parking lot striping. I got a call from a friend of mine the other day who operates a company out of Texas. He called me and he said, "Hey, I'm running into a problem and I need to know what you think I should do about it." Then he described to me the issue that he was having with this company. A company called him, and it was a contract company that subcontracts multiple services out to the properties that they service. So they called him and subcontracted him out to do some striping. Well, you know how these companies do. They try to get you to give the lowest price to do the most amount of work. That way they could utilize you to get maximum results. Understandable, but nevertheless, there were some issues with him. First, he got sent out to go quote the property. They approved the quote that was for just the striping that was in front of the building. Well, after he did the striping that was in front of the building and billed the service company, that's whenever the property that was initially requesting the work to be done, they were dissatisfied that he did not do all of the striping on the entire property. Well, since he was going through a company that was subcontracting him, they wanted to save money. Therefore, he didn't stripe the entire parking lot because they wanted to be cheap. Well, their customer complained to him that the whole property did not get striped. That's when he said, "You guys only approved the work ticket for striping that was in front of the building. Therefore, since you didn't want to pay for it and didn't approve it, I only did what was described in the service ticket." So red flag number 1, if you're dealing with a company that sends you a specific service ticket and then they complain because you did not do more than what was described in that service ticket, that's a red flag. That means that this company is trying to get you to work for free. And when he called me, that's the first thing that popped into my mind. They're trying to get him to work for free. Then what happens is he sent them a price to restripe the entire parking lot. And I think the total price went from $1,200 up to $2,000. No big deal, couple $100, easy, right? Well, then after he stripes the entire property, he gets a call that says that corporate was dissatisfied at the way the parking lot looked when he got done. They complained about how this line did not end up matching with the access aisle. You can see that they don't meet up. However, this is a restripe. This isn't a new layout, meaning that whoever laid this out in the new construction portion, they didn't lay it out to begin with. Red flag number 2, when you stripe a job and then you go to bill them, then they start complaining about the work quality on a restripe. That's a problem for us as striping contractors. Now, not only was there a discrepancy within the pricing in the beginning of the job before and after it was striped, now they're trying to raise up problems about a stop stencil and this not lining up. Well, after that, they contact him and said, our customer's complaining. Well, he's already performed the work on a restripe. It wasn't like it was a new layout. There's nothing he can do. And it wasn't mentioned in the service description. So therefore, as the contractor, I don't think he's obligated to fix it. Then I said, what you need to do is make direct contact with their contact, meaning don't let them be the middleman and the facilitator of the said issue. If there is a legitimate problem and their corporate office is complaining about the work, you need to know what exactly is wrong. Therefore, you as a service provider can go out there and fix it. And this company did not want him to make contact with the property. And that's a big time problem. Red flag number 3, when these companies do not want you to contact a point of contact on a property, that's a problem. Because if there is a discrepancy, how do we know as service providers to fix it? For all we know, this company could be lying just so we don't get paid. And that's what I told him. I said, you need to make a point of contact on this property, find out if indeed there is a problem, and then work together directly with the property to resolve the issue. Well, sure enough, he goes to make contact with the property, and guess what? The general manager says, it's not a big deal. It's really not that bad. Obviously, we would like it to look better, but if this is how it looks as a result of it being a restripe, then we understand it doesn't look that bad. And so now, red flag number 4, there are conflicting interests between the service company who subcontracted him and the property, their customer. 4 red flags. Because if he would not have made contact with this property, well, guess what? They could have just jerked his chain and been like, yeah, this is wrong, and then this is wrong, and then this is wrong. And guess what they did? They started adding more and more things wrong with the property. They didn't like how the access aisle right here didn't match up. They also didn't like how the stop stencil looked right here, because they said it did not exactly match the previous stencil. That's understandable. However, they said, we're going to need to get that sandblasted and then re-put down a new stencil. Well, man, that's outrageous. To get a sandblaster out there to blast up a stencil, man, you're talking about spending $600-700 on operating cost in order to get this done when it wasn't clearly defined in the first place. So I told him, what you need to do is do a black box stencil, black box it, stencil over it, and it'll look better when you get done with the job. This is what we did on a Scooter's Coffee. See this black box stencil? If you don't have a stencil that matches, just black box it and stencil it. And personally, I think this looks a lot better than just trying to overlap a stencil that doesn't perfectly fit. And guess what? When you get on striping jobs, you're going to run into that. Your stencils probably aren't going to fit. So this is what you do. Keep a bucket of black paint, use waterborne paint so you can roll it, and then just black box and stencil it just like we did on this Scooter's job. And that's what I did. I said, just tell them you're going to black box and stencil it instead of sandblasting it. Send them this picture and tell them that's what you're going to be able to do, unless they want to pay the cost for a sandblaster to go out there and pick it up. But guess what? It's going to be on an asphalt parking lot, meaning it's going to cause damage to the asphalt. And if it does damage to the asphalt and they're already upset about a stencil not matching within that, I promise you, they really don't want it sandblasted. As service-based contractors, what can we learn from this? Number 1, make sure that everything they want done is in the ticket. Don't do anything more or anything less other than the information that is provided in the ticket. That's number 1. Number 2, always, always, always have a point of contact. When you do jobs like this for these companies, have a point of contact to establish effective quality control. Meaning, therefore, when you bill them, there is a completion aspect of the job. That way, they usually provide you with paperwork to have a manager sign off verifying the quality. So make sure you have those systems put in place. Number 3, don't let these companies take advantage of you, because at the end of the day, they're just trying to get you to work as cheap as possible so they can make the most amount of profits as possible. Don't let these people take advantage of you. They will do it. And I promise you, if you let them do it, they're going to take advantage of you. Always establish a point of contact when you're on these jobs. Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell icon, and we will see you in the next video.